Madam.
अच्छा,
I think Sheila has joined now. Sayukta.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yes,
Sheila madam
I
is joined.
joined, Vikas. Good evening to
Ah,
everyone.
good evening, dear.
good evening. There is call from Garcha ma'am. No, I'll soon join again, okay?
It's 6:30 now. Should we start? Garcha madam? Garcha madam?
May I request the MOC to start the proceedings as it is 6:30 right now?
Yes, yes. So, a very delightful evening to one and all virtually present here. Madam, Dr. Sheila Vijay, madam, please mute your mic. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. A very delightful evening to one and all virtually present here. I welcome you all on behalf of Chhattisgarh Forum, ISFL. Today again, we gathered here on the platform of Students' Intellectual Meet to discuss another interesting topic. And today's topic is recent trends in English language teaching. And to speak on the topic, we have with us Dr. Nigar Ahmed, Assistant Professor of English, Government Shahid Kaushal Yadav College, Gundardehi. To chair the session, we have Dr. Sushma Tiwari, my childhood friend, Assistant Professor, Government Arts and Commerce, Girls College, Deven Nagar, Raipur. To moderate the session, we have Mrs. Sanyukta, Assistant Professor of English, Swami Shri Swarupanand Saraswati, Mahavidyalaya, Khudko, Bhilai. As we all know that this month's events are being coordinated by Dr. Sheila Vijay, and Madam is coordinating the events very perfectly. Before I hand over this virtual platform to Madam, I want to introduce her. Dr. Sheila Vijay, MPhil PhD, is presently working as an assistant professor of English at Dr. Khubchand Baghel Government PG College, Bhilai, 3. She has a rich 34 years of teaching experience. Her areas of interest include women's writings, Indian English literature, children's literature, and ELT. She has 13 scholarly research papers to her credit, published in various national and international journals. She has attended and presented research papers in many national and international seminars, webinars, and conferences. She has attended many faculty development, invited us in national webinars. She has posted 6 videos on English literature for UG and PG students on the online CG portal, Government of Chhattisgarh. She also has the credit of being an invited speaker in the first session of HISPL, in one session of HISPL CG, and also she loves pursuing her hobby of singing. She is a trained classical singer, a Doordarshan artist. Dr. Sheila Vijay was also recently invited as a resource person for 3 days in value-added courses organized by Kamala Devi Mahavidyalay, Rajnagaon, and Swami Shri Swarupanand Mahavidyalay, Hutko Bhilai. So welcome, madam. Now the platform is all yours. Madam, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Archana Singh, madam. Good evening, everyone present over here. Namaskar to everyone, to all the dignitaries present over here. Mr. Yugal Kishore Tiwari, sir, respected Tiwari, sir. Dr. Garcha, my dear friend, Dr. Nigar Ahmed, the speaker of today's session, Dr. Ghanshyam, Dr. Sushma Tiwari, Mrs. Sanyukta Padi, today's moderator, and everyone present over here. I hope I am audible, Dr. Archana.
Yes.
Am I audible?
You are audible. Yes,
Yes, madam, you are.
Very clear. Yes.
I welcome you all to this Saturday intellectual meet of ISPEL, which brings all the learners to one platform. We honor the vision of its founder and general secretary, Professor G.A. Ghanshyam, sir, for enabling us to assemble in this platform to share our knowledge. We truly tend to follow the motto of ISPEL, facilitate to elevate. And during the hard period of Corona pandemic, it became a disguise, a blessing in disguise for us when we started, when Dr. Ghanshyam, in fact, started this forum, that is ISPEL, that's Indian Society for Promotion of Indian Language and Literature. And on this platform, we all have assembled here, and today is again a great day when we all have assembled here for this beautiful lecture by our chief speaker of today's function, Dr. Nigar Ahmed. Now, speaking on today's topic, we all real world will at least inevitably, at least some of it may end up having an impact on what we do inside our classrooms when we give lectures to our students. English language teaching has undergone a tremendous change over the years. We find our poor students burdened up with studying, learning, grasping the materials, and, of course, lectures with the collection of relevant text information from the prescribed text. Many career alternatives, once regarded insignificant, are again gaining importance in the present time, such as communication skills, soft skills, technical skills, interpersonal skills, ICT, literacy, etc. The need for chiseled graduates in this tough competition of survival in the global market is in great demand nowadays. And for this, a change in the trend, especially the teaching learning process of English language teaching, has to undergo a transition for the betterment. Seasons change, fashion change, even the attitudes of human beings change. So we do feel a positive change will definitely usher in the field of English language teaching. Now, I'd not like to speak more on this topic. We have such an eminent speaker with us. Now, I hand over the stage to our moderator, Mrs. Sayukta Pad. Yeah. Before I hand over the stage to Mrs. Padi, the moderator of today's session, I'd like to give a brief introduction about our moderator. Mrs. Sayukta Padi is a research scholar at Government VYT PG Autonomous College, Durg, in English literature, registered under me. She has qualified both CTET and CGTET. She is teaching English language and literature at Swami Shri Swarupanand Saraswati Mahavidyalaya, Bhilai presently. Her research is solely based on Indian mythology. So welcome, Sayukta, to this prestigious iSpell forum platform, and please continue the proceedings. Sayukta.
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Audible.
Thank you so much, madam. Pranam and good evening to one and all to this session of iSpell. iSpell, as Sheila madam has already told, this is people's platform whose motto is felicitate to elevate. It provides opportunity to new faces who haven't get the chance to present themselves despite of having ability, talent and competence. Session of today is themed on recent trends in English language teaching. First of all, I would like to welcome the motivational and inspirational figure behind this forum, the founder of iSpell India, Dr. J. Ghanshyam sir. With due respect, I welcome President iSpell CG Forum, Dr. Harpreet Kaur Gacha madam. My warm welcome to Dr. Devashri Chakravarti, Vice President iSpell CG Forum. My hearty welcome to the Chief Speaker of today's session, Dr. Nigar Ahmed madam. My warm welcome to today's chairperson, Dr. Sushma Tiwari madam. My hearty welcome to the event coordinator, Dr. Sheila Vijay madam, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Dr. Khubchand Baghel, Government PG College, Bhilai 3. I must mention here, madam has also mentioned that she is my research supervisor and my guru also. I can see Tarlochan Kaur madam also. Dr. Tarlochan Kaur ma'am Assistant Professor English, Government VYT PG Autonomous College, Durg. She is my co-supervisor and a great motivator. I also welcome all the dignitaries, conveners, coordinators, and respected members, and all those people who are associated with this platform. On behalf of iSpell India and CG Forum, I welcome all of you to this virtual platform. Now, I should move on to the introduction of the chief speaker today. It's a matter of immense pleasure for all of us that today we have Dr. Nigar Ahmed Madam, Assistant Professor of English, Government Shahid Kaushal Yadav College, Gundardehi, CG. Dr. Nigar Madam has an enriching 34 years of teaching experience. Her areas of interest include diasporic writings, Afro-American literature, and English language teaching. She has attended more than 25 national and international seminars, conferences, and presented research papers. She has published 6 research papers. She has given invited lectures as resource person in various institutions like BIT Durg, CSIT Durg, Rungta College, etc. She has been an active member of Board of Studies at BIT College, Durg. Presently, she is a member of Central Board of Studies in English formed by Government of Chhattisgarh for syllabus designing for UG and PG English language and literature. So I welcome you, ma'am. We are looking forward to your talk, ma'am, and I invite you for your deliberations on recent trends in English language teaching. Welcome, ma'am. Now the mic and the dice is yours.
पहले तो सभी को मेरा प्रणाम.
Pranam.
Very good evening to all of you. And this is my first attempt. I'm speaking here on this platform. I really appreciate for making this, who has Dr. Ghanshyam Singh, Dr. Debashri, all the personalities here who have really made this platform very effective, because I had once or twice joined and I was little busy all these days for doing the NAC accreditation work, and now I got a little time, so my friend has invited me that today if you are willing, then I said okay. So this is my first attempt. I hope my presentation may not be very effective, but I am making an attempt. Okay, so my topic is recent trends in English language teaching. Education in the midst of has a lots of dramatic transformation. As we know that NEP 2020 has offered many new learning style. Anywhere, learning anytime, anywhere. That is the main उसका मेन जो इंटरेस्ट है वो लर्निंग एनी टाइम एनीवेयर, उसको हम इंक्लूड करके अब अगर अपने सिलेबस में इंक्लूड करते हैं और अभी से ही अगर हम टीचिंग में इसको ले आते हैं, टीचिंग मेथोडोलॉजी में, तो आई थिंक दिस थिंकिंग दैट ओनली एज ए न्यू ट्रेंड. न्यू ट्रेंड्स क्या है? न्यू ट्रेंड्स तो है नहीं वैसे, आई एम जस्ट यूजिंग द सेम थिंग बट इन माई ओन वे, but keeping in mind NEP 2020. So NEP 2020, it's an educational system, ecosystem with collaboration, affiliation, student innovation, mentorship, teachers involvement. Definitely to make the things better for next 5 years, because NEP 2020 will be implemented very soon. So we need to think for more creative things and more transformational education platform for our students. as we have come to know in the wake of pandemic, बहुत सारी चीजों का, there was so many changes. A big change was online education in the higher education system, and thinking after taking those online education, we have come to know that more new teaching tools should be introduced, and that will definitely make the students also, the learners, their dullness will go away, and it will make them more effective. Teaching will be more effective. So we find that there was a sudden shift to digital education. Modern teaching methodology, as we know, why it is needed, we can say, क्योंकि देखिए क्लासरूम, ट्रेडिशनल क्लासरूम में हमने कुछ चीजें ऐसे ऑब्जर्व करी है कि कुछ बच्चे जो होते हैं वो थोड़ा सा डल रहते हैं और कुछ का ग्रास्पिंग पावर फास्टर रहता है. सो मॉडर्न टीचिंग टूल्स, जो लर्निंग टूल्स है, if we introduce, that will definitely help the student face the challenges based on their skill level. So we need to adopt some new learning style, and these new learning style will definitely bring the confidence in the students. Some of the learning style I am going to discuss few only, just to highlight some of the things. Like, we, as we know, in NEP 2020, more focus is given on vocation based education and techniques. So we should also introduce in our teaching method, if we make the students, help them to make their mindset based on project based learning or vocational education, vocation based education learning, this will definitely help the student to acquire the skill in their specific domains. Vocational training should be, I think it should become a part of mandatory, say mandatory part of entrepreneurship programs also, because if we are introducing such programs, definitely the new learners who are going for their, means they will be acquiring their skill को और एनहांस करना, और एक एम्प्लॉयमेंट के तरफ से भी, करियर को भी चूज करने के लिए इस तरह के अगर वोकेशनली, वोकेशन बेस्ड एजुकेशन को अगर हम मॉडर्न टीचिंग उसमें या अपने उसमें इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं, तो दैट इज डेफिनेटली गोइंग टू हेल्प. इंस्टीट्यूशन शुड मेक ए कोलैबोरेशन विद द, से लाइक हम लोग अपना सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट्स को बुला के या इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स को भी बुलाकर इस तरह के वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम कर सकते हैं. इसका बच्चों के ऊपर बहुत अच्छा से मीन्स एटलीस्ट दे आर अवेयर फॉर देयर फर्दर फ्यूचर या करियर के लिए. क्योंकि मैंने ये चीजें, मैं एक रिमोट एरिया में हूँ, मैं कई एफर्ट करती भी रही कि वोकेशनल, एक आध बार हुआ था हमारे कॉलेज में वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम, तो मुझे जब नैक आई, और मैं एक्चुअली आई एम आल्सो कीपिंग इन माइंड, रिसेंटली our college has faced that NAC accreditation, so I keeping that also in my mind, I have prepared this type of slide, that why not we expose the student, why not bring such methodology, why not keep in mind these things also. So such programs will definitely help if we do at least every department. I mean the each faculty, like कॉमर्स है, साइंस है, सो इंग्लिश तो है ही, लैंग्वेज एक है ही है, उनके लिए एक इम्पॉर्टेंट लैंग्वेज है, विच विल डेफिनेटली हेल्प देम टू लर्न मोर थिंग्स. Teaching with new technology. Teaching with new technology is definitely an approach to match the pace of teaching with the pace of learning capability of students in today's area as today's era. हमको मालूम है टीचर्स से ज्यादा आजकल स्टूडेंट्स न्यू गैजेट से ज्यादा वेल एक्वेंटेड है. सो हमारे लिए भी एक टीचर के लिए भी एक चैलेंज ही है. हम मुझे लगता है कि हमको भी उससे वेल एक्वेंटेड होने के लिए मोर एंड मोर सच प्रोग्राम्स भी करवाएं. और फॉर अस ऑल्सो, फॉर द एजुकेटर्स एज वेल एज फॉर द लर्नर्स, this will be together will be a good platform, and it will definitely bring so many lots of changes and innovations, and such techniques like task, we have to adopt such some teaching strategies, and among that teaching strategies we can adopt task based approach. हमारा जो approach है वो task based होगा, हो तो ज्यादा अच्छा है, because task pair approach में we can bring audio visuals to the student, let them give them some say videos or movies, and by the movies we can ask them to summarize or the plot, or the we can ask them about the characters what they have seen. ऐसे मूवी का एग्जांपल देते हैं, क्योंकि मूवी जो है, मूवी है या इस तरह के ऑडियो विजुअल दिखाने से और उसके बाद वैसा टास्क देंगे तो हमको ये जरूर दिखता है कि उनकी थिंकिंग जो है दैट widens, their thinking perspective widens, and moreover skill enhancement भी उनमें जरूर दिखाई देगा. And one more thing is that watching videos and asking them, कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया कि भाई तुमको वीडियो में कौन सा नया वर्ड दिखा, playing with the words or asking them vocabulary, asking them the meaning of the words, or we ourselves will be telling them the meaning of the words, then asking them, can you guess the antonyms, like this. Like this we can improve their say they can improve their language also, fluency improvement होगा इस तरह से the task based approach में. और moreover skill enhancement होता है, it will bring the competency among them, and such task-based approach. Then another approach can be project-based approach. Well, we had been making so many classroom say activities earlier, like कभी डिक्टेशन लिया, कभी बच्चों को रीडिंग बोल दिया. मैं अपना रिमोट, आई एम वर्किंग वेयर इन ए रिमोट एरिया, सो मुझे तो बच्चों को क्या है कि पहले तो उनको बताना पड़ता है कि ये इंग्लिश का प्रोनाउंसिएशन ये है, तो इस तरह उनमें कोई इतना क्या बोलना चाहिए एक्टिवनेस नहीं आता. सेम डिक्टेशन, पैराग्राफ रीडिंग और से वर्ड्स को देना, आई थिंक अगर हम उनके लिए उनको कुछ क्लासरूम एक्टिविटीज कराएं, क्लासरूम एक्टिविटीज में कुछ वर्ड्स दे दे, है ना, सम वर्ड्स लाइक नेम ऑफ द फ्लावर्स, नेम ऑफ द सीजन और सो मेनी थिंग्स. तो इस तरह के वर्ड्स देने से क्या है कि उनके लिए ये एक प्रोजेक्ट भी बना के दें, प्रोजेक्ट उन लोग बना सकते हैं और उनको बोले कि इस पे कुछ कार्य करो, क्लासरूम में भी करें, और वी कैन आल्सो आस्क देम टू डू वोकल प्रेजेंटेशन आल्सो, है ना, ओरली बोलना ऐसा छोटे छोटे, और एक इंडिविजुअल टास्क भी एज एन होम असाइनमेंट. सो व्हाट आई थिंक इसको करने से हमारे लिए क्या है कि आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग द वी शुड आल्सो check that they are doing this task, and we can also ask them to say they can be suggested some their area of interest with some constructive criticism also, है ना, on the उनका परफॉर्मेंस के ऊपर भी हम उनको कुछ सपोर्ट भी कर सकते हैं. हम next. More of modern teaching method में we can use e-learning platform. कई बार तो जिक्र आता ही है स्वम और मूक का. घनश्याम सर तो हमेशा हम लोगों को बोला भी करते हैं, पर हम लोग उसको एक्सेस अभी तक कर नहीं पाए. Frankly speaking, I think many of us in the colleges would have definitely access it. So ये एक बहुत अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है. मुझे लगता है कि स्टूडेंट्स के लिए आगे हमारा जो लर्निंग को प्रमोट करने के लिए, क्योंकि आप इसको यूज कर सकते हैं एज अ डिक्शनरी, एज अ ट्रांसलेटर, ग्रामर रेफरेंस टूल्स भी है ऑनलाइन मेथड ऑफ टीचिंग में. तो हम अगर ऑनलाइन मेथड ऑफ टीचिंग को ज्यादा से ज्यादा अपने उसमें अगर टू से क्लासरूम जो ट्रेडिशनल क्लासरूम से हट के अगर इसको ज्यादा इंट्रोड्यूस अपने उसमें टाइम टेबल में भी इंट्रोड्यूस करें तो दैट विल डेफिनेटली promote active learning because we are using the activities and task. So I think this will definitely make the students little alert, and they will do the task. If we give them task, they will definitely do the task. Then one more thing I think कि बच्चे जो हैं आजकल के बॉयज हो गर्ल्स हो, उन लोग को गेम्स जो है वो भी एक सॉर्ट ऑफ प्लेटफॉर्म है टू प्रमोट एक्टिव लर्निंग, गेमिफाइड लर्निंग. इसमें स्टूडेंट्स जो है अपने गेम्स का नेम, उसके कई जो खेलते हैं उसका यूसेज, वर्ब, है ना, दे incorporate the game, name of the game, then elements. So this will definitely help the student to promote the interest in within. We can promote the interest, and they can also practice their skill through this playing the games. And one more thing, I think when they play the game, they are also trying to check their performance also, because गेम के रिजल्ट जीता हारा ये सब जो है एक तरह से उनका जो परफॉर्मेंस है उसमें चेक होता है. एंड डेफिनेटली गेमिंग के थ्रू मुझे लगता है वीडियो गेम के थ्रू उनको गुड एंड बैड थिंग्स, मतलब पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट ऑन सोशलाइजिंग, इसका भी अंदाज होता है. एंड दे आर ऑल्सो मेकिंग द कॉम्पिटिटिव एनवायरमेंट, and moreover they are self-educating themselves, and it also helps them to say adjust in different type of environment. So I think these are some of the effective use of the technologies which we can use now modern as a modern method. And this is no doubt communicative approach is widely used, but still the new trends in e-learning is growing faster and wider. So one more thing I would like to say that that e-learning has really made some of the things very easier. We ourselves in the wake of pandemic have come to know how effective online and education और वेबिनार सेमिनार इतने सब हुए. और हम लोग शायद जो नैक करा रहे हैं वो इतने सारे वेबिनार सेमिनार ऑफन होते रहते थे, तो हम लोगों ने इसका फायदा बहुत उठाया है. और ऑनलाइन इंटरनेशनल वर्कशॉप बच्चों के लिए भी, स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी और हमारे लिए भी easier है. No, we all cannot afford to go abroad, but at least we can attend online lecture. So many things, many other things also, modern gadgets can be used. Artificial intelligence जो है वो भी students को help करता है. कभी teacher busy है तो artificial intelligence जो it will play an important role as an assistant taking some responsibility for some task if the teacher is not there. I hope. And so we can use these tools to increase the students' motivation. And definitely these tools, they have a strong flexibility as well as adaptiveness. And that is what I want to say. I hope students जो है उनको कुछ थोड़ा सा ये कुछ अच्छा लगा होगा तो हाँ क्योंकि देखिए कम्युनिकेशन जो है इसके थ्रू आप लोग कई चीजें मतलब बेटर व्हेन यू आर एक्सपोज टू मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजी एंड ऑनलाइन टीचिंग कम्युनिकेशन इन द रेस्पेक्टिव फील्ड विल डेफिनेटली इम्प्रूव, है ना. हमारे जो दिस मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजी अप्रोच जो है वो क्या है कि कंटेंट टास्क है. फॉर एग्जांपल ईमेल राइटिंग, ब्लॉग राइटिंग, ये सब में स्टूडेंट और टीचर इन्वॉल्व होते हैं. और हम स्टूडेंट्स के नीड्स को भी जानते हैं और हम पढ़कर इस तरह का कई और भी मेथड्स है लाइक using some more approaches, showing them the videos and audios, and giving them some word list दे दे और उनको बोले कि इसके ऊपर आप इससे मिलते जुलते और and as I said earlier also, so this will definitely help the student to increase to improve their this vocabulary, use of right vocabulary, which is very important. And we can do the self evaluation also, like video online. इसमें कई बार हम लोग जो है अपना ही वीडियो बनाते हैं और वीडियो बनाने के बाद ये प्रैक्टिस भी हमारी रहती है कि अरे भाई मेरा वीडियो इतना अच्छा नहीं हुआ, अभी इसको क्या इम्प्रूव और करूं. ऐसा कई हम लोग उसमें एडिटिंग भी करते हैं. तो इस तरह मुझे लगता है कि द रीसेंट techniques, education system, this will all be helpful. And this is all is the I should say the language teaching which has brought in 20th century a lot of changes. These new approaches, we need to have these new approaches to teach English. So we need to have that matching with the pace of teaching with the new learners, their capability. कहीं वो हमसे कभी आगे भी हो सकते, तो that becomes a challenge for us. So हमको तो खुद हमको भी तैयार करना है उनके साथ. What do you say? So with this I conclude.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Definitely.
I conclude my
Okay, thank you
presentation.
so much. Thank you so much, madam, for this insightful and enlightening session. The overall gist that I could sum up as learning by doing, it will really help the students, learners in developing their each and every skill, that is the LSRW skills, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. New approaches of teaching, workshops should be organized so that the distant trainees could be benefited. So now, my dear friends, this session is the Q&A session. If you have any queries, any questions related to this session, you can share with us. You can ask the questions. I can't see any question in the chat box. If you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask the question.
And
Ma'am, I have a suggestion.
Yes, please. Yes,
My name
please.
is Vikas Chandanigam. I am an assistant professor from Government Naveen Girls College, Takatpur. I have been recently using a website that is very useful for students concerning who are actually the beginners in learning English. It is called Mr. Nussbaum. I'll just type it up in chat. You can find some accessible spelling games and word arrangement games, word sorting games in this. There are other subjects, other subject games as well related to history, geography, science, and other such stuff. But I found this site particularly interesting because it is free of cost and it is always accessible. The server is never down. So one can access this website and maybe use it for aiding students in learning.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I request all the dignitaries and all the participants, if they have any suggestions or any opinion regarding this session, please share with us. No more questions? Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Nidar, madam. This was really an insightful and inspiring and quite an engaging session, I must say. I can see Ghanshyam sir is also there. Now I wish to invite Dr. Ghanshyam sir to share his insight about today's session.
I think, ma'am, after the chairperson, even for example, as far as the speaker is concerned, I don't think I have any insight as far as recent trends are concerned, because the insight is always in, and whatever I could see, that's always in, and introspection also says the insight has to be done from inside. So that's why I don't have the insight, but I have the outside aspect of teaching English. And as I see, as we are progressing in the field of information and communication technology, what I found is the job is quite challenging as far as teaching English is concerned. And as far as trends are concerned, the trends are basically, they are becoming a kind of an entity wherein the trends are changing very fast. And they are changing not according to the time, but they are making the time to change itself. And the new generation is packed with so many trends and techniques that we need to learn many of the trends from them only. And they have become the real teachers for all the teachers, those who call themselves as teachers. And as far as the recent trend is concerned, the teacher is at loss with the help of his own old techniques, because most of the teachers, to be very frank, and I take this disclaimer, that we haven't shaped ourselves, we haven't refined ourselves, we haven't even gone deep into the technicalities of teaching English through ICT. So this ICT is a bigger tool as far as teaching English in the present context is concerned. And as far as teaching language is concerned, it's very necessary for an individual to understand the linguistic aspect of the language. And many of the teachers, those who teach literature, they say teaching English language is very boring and it doesn't have any interest in it. And teaching literature is really great, and it has many of the avenues in it, and you can make the students absolutely vibrant with the help of literature. But even the literature has been written with the help of language only. So language came first, and with the language, the literature not only bloomed, but it has reached to the nooks and corners. But basically, language is a must. And while teaching the language, it's very necessary for one to understand one particular thing, that no language lab can teach any language to anyone in this world. And the biggest language lab which is available in the world is none other than the society. So if you come across people, if you come across the entire society, you will find people are speaking in different ways, using different accent, using different stress pattern. And then you realize somebody is speaking in some other way and some one is speaking in a different way. So the difference is being noticed by the listener. And when we talk of RP, the received pronunciation, now, as far as English is concerned, we are not speaking English, but we are speaking Englishes. So every individual has a different kind of an accent, different kind of a stress, different kind of style. So everything matters a lot. So that's why in the recent trends, we need to mend the minds to blend the trends. Until and unless we blend the trends and mend the minds, there is nothing we can achieve in this 21st century. So we need to make the students understand the 21st century skills with the help of communication. And when we say, I didn't mean that, means somewhere or the other, our communication is not effective. If it is not effective, means it's not reaching the individual. And that's why we are saying, I didn't mean that, means we are unable to communicate. In the world of information and technology, there are a lot many miscommunications which are happening, which was not there earlier. People were able to communicate even without technology, without information and communication technology. They were communicating so well. But why is it happening that with the advent of technology, we are unable to communicate ourselves? So this is the key issue. And whenever we learn a language, whenever we teach a language, let us remain absolutely pure with the language. When we use English, let us use English. When we use Hindi, let us use Hindi. When we use our vernaculars, let us use the vernaculars. Why to mix the language, one language in another language? That will make one to understand one particular thing, that there is no one who is pure to use the particular language. So that's why this particular trend of mixing has to be stopped, and the students must be able to make aware of this particular thing, that English is not the ornamental kind of a language. It's as easy as any of the languages of the world. It's as easy as the mother tongue. So we must promote these things. And to promote these things, we need to facilitate the students with the help of taking out the fear which is always there in their hearts and minds. So this particular trend of fear has to be changed, has to be taken out. And for that, we all must come together. And there are a lot many strategies, lot many concepts which are available, but no concepts, no strategies, and no methodologies will work when you enter the classroom and when you face the students. So students, they teach you what kind of a methodology you need to employ as far as teaching the students are concerned. So that's why it's not what I assume to teach, I must teach. No, I must understand the needs and demands of the students, and accordingly, I have to change my strategies, I have to change my concepts, I have to change my way of teaching, I have to change my way of speaking. Everything has to be changed, keeping the student in the focus. As in the solar system, the sun is in the focus, in the same way, in the classrooms, the students are in the focus. And we teachers are mere the planets, those who revolve around the sun. So that kind of a strategy is to be implemented if we really want to make a change in the present education system. Let what education policy may come, NEP 2020, NEP 2022 will come. But until and unless we are able to understand the concept of this, I think no education policy can make a change. So if you really want to change the world and the students, the change must be from us. We need to change ourselves. Then only we can think of a change. And that's what Gandhi has said. यदि आप परिवर्तन चाहते हैं तो सबसे पहला परिवर्तन आप अपने आप में करें. So then we can think of changing the students. How can we say that the students are not receptive nowadays? The students are very worst nowadays. Hope we have lost our patience. Hope we are not dealing well with the students, and that's why we are saying this. Our own children, they are also of the same generation, but we never say to our own children. We say to the students whom we are teaching, not to our own children. So if we have double kind of a standard, then this mentality has to be changed. And if we change that mentality, That's the biggest trend what we can do in this world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Very well said कि अगर आप परिवर्तन चाहते हैं तो सबसे पहला परिवर्तन हमें अपने आप में करना होगा. We all look for insight, but you have given a new perspective, that is the outside perspective. Literature has been written with language. While teaching language, it should be kept in mind to focus on the means and ways one is proficient in. Now, I would like to request Dr. Harpreet Kaur Garcha, madam, to throw some light on today's topic. Please, madam. Harpreet, madam.
Yes, it has become a debate rather, and Madam Nigar has given a very good deliberation on the subject, and Dr. Ghansham has added much to it, and I think we'll be, exceeding in time if I elaborate a lot on this, because we have a chairperson to speak on this also. So I'll be very short. I think what Dr. Ghansham has said, we have to blend the trends, It is not the traditional methods or the technology which works, We just can't differentiate both, or we can't lay stress on one and ignore the other. What is required is we have to blend the trends so that we bend the mind, as Sir has said, and that I really totally agree with him. And that is, I think, what is the need of the hour, and that will definitely work. And today, the students, they expect a lot from the teachers, and we have to come up to the expectations, And if it is only if we are well versed with the technology, then only we can very confidently cope up with the teaching. So if we ourselves are not well versed with technology, if we are not competent enough with the technology, I think we will not be able to satisfy the students. So I think this traditional method of teaching as well as the technology, they go hand in hand and needs to be blended. So that's all I have to say. And because I think it's time we listen to the inputs of the chairperson.
Thank you so much, madam. Now it's time to invite today's chairperson. We have an eminent personality with us today, Dr. Shushma Tiwari ma'am. Let me give a short introduction of her. Presently, Dr. Shushma Tiwari ma'am is serving as at Government Arts and Commerce Girls College, Devendranagar, Raipur, as Head of Department English. Her qualifications are: she has completed her Masters in English Literature, MPhil and PhD. Her specialization is in American Literature and Indian Aesthetics. She has a glorious 33 years of teaching experience. Her 5 research papers had been published in reputed national and international journals. She has participated in many national and international seminars, webinars, workshops, and conferences. She is the member of Board of Studies at Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University, Raipur, and a life member of ELTAI. Now, without any further delay, I invite Dr. Shushma Tiwari. Please, ma'am, the mic is yours. Ma'am, please unmute yourself, ma'am. You're not audible.
Sorry. Thank you, ma'am. I'm really grateful for giving me the opportunity to be one among you. My hearty thanks to Dr. Ghansham sir, Dr. Garcha ma'am, the coordinator of this today's meeting, Dr. Sheila Vijay, and moderator Mrs. Sanyukta Patil. I'm also fortunate to be a part of iSpell Chhattisgarh Forum. I extend my sincere thanks to respected Dr. Nigar Ahmed Madam for her excellent lecture presentation, which was profound and effective. It was absolutely incredible how you tailored your message for the audience and captivated them. Please accept my heartiest congratulations and sincerest thanks for your interesting and informative lecture, which turned this weekly meeting so rewarding. Our respected speaker has very well spoken about new learning style, vocational training program, teaching with new technology, audiovisual tasks, online teaching methods, learning through gaming, and e-learning. Once again, I extend my thanks to you, Nigar ma'am, and with the note of gratitude, I would like to share in brief, in very short, the latest trends in English language teaching and different teaching approaches. In the list of latest trends in English language teaching, first comes CLIL, that is Content and Language Integrated Learning. It is one of the latest trends in ELT. This model pursues to make a link between language learning and content development. That is to say, English learning is more oriented around school subjects like history, science, geography, etc. The underlying principle is that English should not be end of a language program, but the means through which learners will acquire knowledge in other fields also. I think that this is a more academic and scientific orientations for which teachers have to be well prepared. The approach demands not only the mastery of English and the management of ELT methods, but certain degree of awareness of some disciplines as well. The next comes e-learning applied to ELT, which has already been mentioned by Nigar madam. It is one of the latest trends, and how it can be applied to ELT is probably a good area for research as the internet becomes more available to an ever wider group of students. How students interact and how the system use facilitate that interaction is a question which will need to be understood to increase the effectiveness of this medium, that is e-learning medium. Next comes blended learning. It is the approach that is at the cutting edge in education and with a wide range of possibilities for ELT. It helps teachers optimize language learning and teaching by using ICT, which is being mentioned by Dr. Ghanshyam sir, that is information and communication technology resources like internet, web-based tools, CD rooms, etc. in combination with face-to-face session. E-learning that encompasses the use of technological and electronic support for educational purposes embraces blended learning. The next is TBLT, that is task-based language teaching. It is among the latest trends in ELT nowadays, where users can have varieties of learning experiences in lifelike environment. It focuses on the use of authentic language and on asking students to do meaningful tasks using the target language. Such tasks can include visiting a doctor, concluding an interview, conducting an interview, or calling customer service for help, and many more. Assessment is primarily based on task outcome. In other words, the appropriate completion of real world tasks rather than on the accuracy of prescribed language forms. This makes the approach popular for developing target language fluency and students' confidence. We can consider TBLT as a branch of communicative language teaching. Next is situated language teaching. In this approach, learners involved actively in meaningful language learning situations and contextual practices created by the teacher. Situated language learning focuses on the contexts, situations, and knowledge constructions. Students acquire skills and knowledge best within realistic context and authentic settings where we engage students in experiential language learning tasks. And last, I would like to mention edutainment, which Nigar Madam has already mentioned. It started most nowadays, and it refers to using online games and games in ELT and self-language learning. Learners should be so engaged that they should forget even they are learning something. In this approach, we use learning and entertainment as two words used together as one. Now, with these trends, it is needed to be familiar with the tried and tested teaching approaches. The different teaching approaches can be classified into four theoretical orientations, that is structural, cognitive, psychological, and functional. Let us see in brief what these different approaches are. Structural approaches believe that language can be reduced to a learnable set of building blocks. There are rules known as grammar and syntax that govern how to combine these basic elements. These rules can be memorized to achieve a high level of proficiency in a language. Some proponents would even go so far as saying that there is a predetermined sequence in which a language should be learned. Grammar textbooks are the most commonly used material in this category. Talking about the cognitive approach, the cognitive perspective in learning a language puts the learner smack in the center of everything. Cognitive approaches look to answer questions like, how can a language be effectively learned? How does one make a set of vocabulary words memorable and get them embedded in a long-term memory? According to this kind of approach, the techniques, strategies, and even the sequences of lessons are learned-led and can't be predetermined. Learning a language is a conscious, rational information processing event. Talking about the psychological approach, here learning is seen through issues like learners' motivation and predisposition, allocations, conduciveness to learning, teacher-student dynamics, stress level, etc. Is the teacher supportive enough to the student? Is the classroom dynamic facilitating or inhibiting the acquisition of the language? Many of the insights in this category are borrowed from counseling and social psychology. The last one is functional approach, where often emphasize spoken language over written language and professes that language isn't a set of grammar rules, but rather a tool for communication. This has tremendous implication for the type of activities or materials employed. Now that we have known the four broad categories that the approaches are based on, next comes the approaches that can animate the events that happen inside the classroom. We have to keep in mind that each activity may not fall neatly into one category. It may blend two or more of these categories. In fact, you might adopt one approach and add elements or unrelated categories to it. We need not bother or become strict about how these approaches are employed in the classroom. We have to be just aware of what they are and how they are best used. So you will likely notice that the approaches have some interesting relationship with each other. They overlap, they support, complement, and even contradict with each other. It is safe to say that no single approach can answer all of every teacher's questions. So it is better to be open-minded enough to try all of these approaches and begin to see which one works best in which situation. After these approaches, the classroom approaches include grammar translation approach, audiolingual approach, reading approach, communicative approach, community language learning, functional approach, natural approach, and lastly, total physical response. So these are the different approaches that could serve as guide to teaching individuals. They all do have their own merits and minuses. It's up to the teacher to use these approaches properly and have positive impact on the students. So with this, I conclude my point and thank you all for your patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam, for your keen observation and elaborate reflections of the session. The approaches introduced by you really has covered all the aspects of a language should actually be learned. Thank you so much, Madam. It's always special when one receives an award or a certificate. I request Dr. Ghanshyam sir to please present the certificate of appreciation to the speakers of the session. Dr. Ghanshyam sir.
Ghanshyam sir has to leave for a meeting, ma'am. He's not. He's disconnected because he had to attend another meeting, so he's not with us.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
So
I request you, madam. I request Dr. Harpreet Kaur Garcha, madam, President iSpell CG Forum, to present the certificate of appreciation to the speakers of today's
Sure, ma'am. Sure. Yes, ma'am. Now, may I request?
Yes, madam.
Hello. Yes, may I request Indrani ma'am to please. Yes, may I request Indrani ma'am to flash the certificates, please. Well, events of this nature need the support and encouragement of many, and it's a humble duty to thank and appreciate those who have supported us. And I take this opportunity on behalf of iSpell to present our token of appreciation. Indrani ma'am? Yes. This token of appreciation is for Dr. Nigar Ahmed, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Government, Shahid Kaushal Yadav College, Gundardei, the chief speaker of today, who has delivered a beautiful talk on the recent trends in English language teaching today. Thank you, ma'am, for a wonderful deliberation. It has been a very informative and enlightening session and a learning experience throughout. Thank you, ma'am, for such a wonderful deliberation. And we hope to have with you us in future also.
Sure.
And
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am, for being with us and sparing your valuable time. This is a token of appreciation from iSpell. Please accept it, ma'am.
Yeah, I accept. I extend my gratitude to the whole platform, this forum, for giving me a chance, making me a part of this forum. Thank you so much. And I'll be definitely with this forum in the other coming session. And I would definitely like to take one more if given chance in a better way. This was my first attempt. I hope my presentation would not have been very effective, but next time I would like to definitely make it more effective. This was my first exposure.
It
Thank
was
you.
perfect, ma'am. It was perfect. It was perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Next, this is a token of appreciation for Dr. Sushma Tiwari, Professor, Department of English, Government Arts and Commerce, Girls College, Devendra Nagar, Raipur. Thank you so much for chairing the session, ma'am. You have really
Thank you.
summed up the session very concisely and very precisely, ma'am. And you have even added your own valuable inputs to the topic. Thank you very much, ma'am. We are grateful for your support as well as for your expertise, which you have rendered. Thank you so much, ma'am, for
Thank
being
you.
with us today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all so much.
Please accept this token of appreciation from ISPIL, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for the certificate and giving me a chance to say something on the topic. Thank you so much.
Beautifully summed up, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, master of ceremony or moderator is again a difficult task. Say right from the very beginning to the end of the session, it's a tedious task. Coordinating things. Putting everything together. It's like sailing a boat. And taking it to your destination. And Sayukta ma'am has done it beautifully. So this is a token of appreciation to Mrs. Sayukta Padi. Please accept this,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm deeply obliged. Thank you so much.
Next. Now, the coordinator of this month's event, who has beautifully connected with everyone, right from the speakers, connecting with the MOCs, arranging persons, and talking on the subject and coordinating all the two events beautifully and in a very perfect and well coordinated manner. This certificate of appreciation goes to Dr. Sheila Vijay, professor, assistant professor and head of English department, government, Hupchand Baghel College, Bhilai 3, and she's the coordinator of the two events. This token of appreciation goes to Dr. Sheila Vijay. Ma'am, please accept this token of appreciation. Thank you. Thank you so much for coordinating the events.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. It was my pleasure and honor.
Thank you, everyone, for being with us. And now I hand over to Sayukta again for further proceedings.
Thank you so much, madam. Now I invite the program coordinator, Dr. Sheila Vijay madam, to carry forward the program and to propose the vote of thanks. Sheila madam.
Hello. Thank you, Sayukta. It was a wonderful evening to have shared this topic of the recent trends in English language teaching. It was wonderful listening to Dr. Nigar Ahmed, and it was wonderfully summed up by Dr. Sushma Tiwari. Only thing which I would like to say, in this post-pandemic scenario, we find that the traditional method of teaching has gone sideline, and we find ourselves more adept to online mode of teaching and teaching, learning, and as such language learning and literature. And we can definitely say that CAL, computer assisted language learning, is the need of the hour, and it has become inevitable. And with increased virtual interactions, the role of the instructor, that is we teachers, it has also gone a tremendous change, and we all have to accept this change, and we have to adapt ourselves to this new stream of technology. And thus artificial learning, I must say, this will perhaps shape the methods and modes of English language teaching with smart interactive approaches of language learning in the near future. I extend my heartfelt thanks to the patron of iSpell CG Forum, Dr. Kirti Tiwari, founder and General Secretary, Dr. G.A. Ghanshyam, sir, President, Dr. Harpreet Kaur Garcha, Madam, Convener, Madam Dr. Archana Singh, for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this wonderful platform, iSpell. I am also honored to chair, to coordinate the two sessions of all the sessions of July month. I feel privileged and honored. I extend my heartfelt thanks to speaker of today's session, Dr. Nigar Ahmed, my dear friend. And also, I extend my thanks to the moderator, Mrs. Sanyukta Padi, for wonderfully uh, coordinating the sessions very smoothly. I also thank all the participants for giving their patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. My hearty thanks to iSpell team for giving me this opportunity to become the moderator of today's session. Now, with the kind permission of President iSpell, I now declare the session over. Thanks to all of you.
Just 1 minute, Sanyukta, just 1
Yes,
minute.
madam. Yes, madam.
Last
Yes, madam.
but not the least, I take this opportunity. There are certain people who are behind the curtain,
Yes.
and they never come up. I think, and especially in this age when we are talking of technology, without technology, we would not have been connected during this hard time. So it is
Yes,
technology which have brought us on this platform, and for the technical support, for making the flyers, and for hosting this session technically, I owe
Yes,
special thanks to Dr. Indrani Borkar, who has hosted the event today, and of course Nurul Hoda, who is always behind the certificates and the flyers. So my special thanks to them also. So now you can declare the closure of this.
Yes, with the kind permission of President iSpell CG Forum, I now declare that the session over. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.